belongs to God. Our money, our possessions, everything is His. The Psalm 24 verse 1 says, "The earth is the Lord's and everything in it." Haggai 2 verse 8 says, "The gold is mine and the silver is mine." And God lays claim to everything. Everything He's made, He lays claim to. So it all belongs to Him. And there's that marvellous passage in Chronicles where David is doing this big fundraising for the first temple. And he gets more than he needs, and he goes off into this long prayer of praise about how wonderfully generous God is. And he finishes it by saying, "Who are we and how can we think of giving to you when it's all yours in the first place, and we only give what you've given us first?" The attitude we tend to start with, which is fed by our culture and to some extent by our nature, is that this is ours and it gives us some security in it. We need to work for it and own it and look after it. And that does work in tension with thinking that it belongs to somebody else. Well, sometimes I ask people, if I've got a group of people together and they want to understand what this thing means about it actually belongs to God and not to us. Many of us love our cars. And so let's take a bucket, let's all put our car keys in the bucket in the middle of the room. And then we come to the end and it's time to leave, we just at random take a set of keys. About half of us would be very pleased with the option and the other half would not be very pleased with the option. But it's not our car, it's His, so does it really matter which one we take? The way this can work out, if you really believe that God owns everything, and let's again take the example of a car, if you believe that God owns your car and that sets up for Him to use more than just for you to use, then that has certain ramifications. One I can think of is that you would insure it for anybody to drive, wouldn't you? Because if somebody needs to borrow your car and you say to them, "I can't lend it to you because I'm not insured." A friend of mine in church, he had a very nice car. It was an Aston Martin, and I thought it would be nice to take that for a drive, and I asked him if I could borrow it. And he said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, the insurance is too expensive." So I said, "Well, you can solve that easily by buying a cheaper car and then you can afford the insurance." He didn't like that idea very much. But it's the principle of are we willing to let other people use what we've got?